Jim McCartney is one of those drummers that influenced one of my favorite drummers from the 70s, Mick Tucker of Sweet, who had amazing skills. But when you look at the Yardbirds, you're talking three of the greatest guitarists of all time that went through the doors of this band, that contributed to this band. Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page. Here's Jim McCartney.
Of all the people in that band, were you closest to him? And was that one of the reasons?
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was close to them all in their own different way, but on the spiritual side, it was Keith.
Well, after my brother died, I'm picking up Raymond Moody books on near-death experiences, and I know that that's an interest. I just looked him up. I didn't realize he was still alive. He is still alive. Like reincarnation, and did you do that kind of thing?
Yeah. We got into all that. I mean, a long time ago. In fact, the song "Happening" 10 years time ago. We did. Keith and I did that, the basis of that song, and we were talking about being reborn within the song. So that was the reason for the song, and nobody really got that at the time.
But you and him, you guys connected that way.
Yeah, we did. We talked about all that stuff. Yeah, we were very spiritual, together.
Yeah.
We were very deep.
When Annie Halson eventually led the band, Renaissance. So what happened there? All of a sudden, you guys are recording 2 albums, and all of a sudden, the band changes.
Yeah, how funny. I don't know. It sort of lost its magic, and it became a bit like it was before. Oh no, we've got to go and play tours.
Oh, that.
We got to do that all again, and the touring didn't work out quite so well with that lineup. Those guys weren't really like tourers. It was all new for them, and so particularly Jane had a lot of difficulties, touring, and she was very up and down. Jane compared to Annie, Annie's a sort of quite a tough girl,
Well, she's still doing it.
Yeah, she's still at it, and she really knows the ropes. She's quite a strong person.
So Keith was only 33 when he died.
Yeah,
it was that's crazy, isn't it? Like freakish.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's a very strange story, and I don't know how it could have happened, but apparently it did. I don't know whether he had anything to do with it or not.
Yeah, it's I've heard many renditions of it.
Yes. I would like to say.
Are you ever someplace where you hear yourself and it's like rediscovering your fridge all of a sudden? You go, can you hear it from different ears, fresh ears sometimes?
Oh yeah. I was on the expressway. I think it was a couple of years ago, and I went in for a pee, and they were playing "For Your Love" in the gents. Everyone having a pee. "For Your Love" going on. I thought, wow, that sounds good. This guy having a pee next to me would never believe it if I said that's me playing.
When you were young, were you ever in that situation where you were sitting beside someone? And I mean, when you're young, did you ever say, "Hey man, that's me on the drums"?
No, I think I was always very embarrassed about it. I was always thought, oh no, I hope they don't find out. It was embarrassing.
I was listening to the story of you being in church as a kid and coming home and telling your mother that weird feeling you had in your stomach watching baptisms and things like that. I always look at things like that as early signs of going, oh, you're looking at that from a different side. You're plugged into something different. When you went home and talked to your mom, was she receptive? Did she know what you were talking about?
I don't think so. No, not at all.
Because it's foreign.
No, she was baffled. I mean, she couldn't understand it. Oh, well, there was no way she knew what that was about, whatever it was about.
Yeah. Well, when you were a kid, I mean, I've often in my interviews said I'm in the cancer clinic. My older brother, 4 years older than me, he's dying. I'm talking to the nurse in the hospice, and I said, we all know he's dying. Like when Lizzie was told that she wasn't coming back, she was going to die. I asked the nurse, I'm a spiritual guy. I didn't know if she was. I'm going, you must see weird stuff in a place like this, because everyone comes here to die. And I said, do other nurses notice that? I know you know where I'm going. And she said, so half the nurses do, the other half don't. They're oblivious to it. When you were losing your wife, were there signs? Was your spirituality reinforced by going through this process?
Yes, immensely. Not so much when she was alive, but when she died. When I suddenly realized, well, she's not dead. She's actually she's still around, and I'm very conscious of her. Every day.
You talk to her?
Yes, I talk to her. It sort of goes in and out. It's a funny thing. I have a discipline where I sit down every morning and I ask her questions and I write in a book. And, whether I'm talking to her or not, I don't, I'm not quite sure, but there seems to be a lot of evidence that she tells me, and a lot of guidance. This is what I like. That she's given me sort of guidance, suggestions for how I do things, and they seem to work. And whether that's true or not, but I get these things like evidence that I was telling somebody the other day, because I asked them for things. I say, tell me something I'm going to see today. In my day, and the other day she said sheep. So I thought, well, that's easy. There's loads of sheep up in the hills, And I was looking later on that day. I was looking on Facebook, and I saw a picture of a whole lot of sheep, and they all have COVID masks on, and it was like, oh, we're going to do what they say. I think the thing, the inscription said, oh, we're going to do what they said. And then they had another picture of them all hanging up, dead, all the sheep, like in a butcher's. So I thought, this is funny. She's talking a bit politically now. She's giving me political clues.
We'll have another part of our second interview with original Yardbirds drummer. He's still with the Yardbirds. Jim McCartney, of course. There was Eric Clapton that went through that band. Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page, what the? There'll also be links to everything that is Jim McCartney, how you can listen to his brand new single, the book She Walks in Beauty, which is about his dearly departed wife Lizzie, and a lot more. If you want to make a donation to the channel, there are links at the very top for PayPal. You can join our Patreon, get early access. There are exclusive content from this interview, which only Patreon members can see. It will never see the light of day on YouTube, only on Patreon. Or you can join our regular Patreon and get early access to all our videos. Subscribe to our channel. It's important. Like our videos, share them, and comment on them as well. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music. Take care.